outside of what the planet already does on itself, on its natural cycle. We're talking about accelerating certain consequences that we have no reason to want to participate in. We are very strange. I use the analogy that we're all in a life raft, and somebody takes a penknife and starts punching the sides to see how quickly it is before this thing sinks. And, in shark-infested waters, there's not a lot of logic being done here because we live on a finite source. We have not built 50-mile spacecrafts like have been observed on the moon, stretching from one end of the crater to the next to transport our people somewhere else. I would think that we would have greater understanding and tolerance towards the protection of our planet, and that doesn't mean that we can't have economic progress, but we have to change the emphasis of that. And I think some of this information is exactly why these extraterrestrials have come here.
All right, let's go next to our wild card line. Welcome to Coast to Coast. Hi there.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, again. Okay, Glenn, what is your last name again? Because I'm calling you from Chicago, and at 3 o'clock, they cut you off. So I'm
Steckling, Steckling, is his last name.
Okay, so I can pick you up on the webpage. Okay, in 1959, I had the pleasure of spending some 7 hours with Mr. George Adamski. I thought I was unique until I heard what your father has gone through, so consequently I see I'm not so unique. But it changed my life forever. I met two men there who read my mind, who predicted the future by 20 minutes and had strange-looking chronometers, which I call the wristwatch. And then I saw three UFOs from apart, no more than 1,000 feet away, while suspended in the air. Mm-hmm. So I know what you're saying, and he was quite a gentleman.
Oh, he was
my
very
questions
unique.
Pardon?
He was very unique. No one else like him.
He was very modest, and I was quite surprised because he didn't even know me, and he spent that much time with me after one of his lectures. Now, my questions to you are these. I read the book some time ago, Mysterious Spaceship Moon, and it talked about the Hadley Riles, this 8-mile-long area of water that's released again into no air and from no source, that most of the craters there, no matter how large the impact area is, goes down no more than 3.5 miles. And I heard you mention, too, the crater Tycho, which has many radiant lights. Also the Mare Crisium and the bridge in Aristarchus.
Right.
So I really would like to talk with you again. I have some pictures, too, that were blown up that he gave me at that time, showing this long cigar-shaped spaceship or mothership, and this Venusian bell-shaped craft. It's very beautiful pictures. So I would like to be able to reach you again.
A large number of those are in the book as well, yes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
well,
because
I
we own the
that
copyrights to all of George Adamski's films and pictures and everything.
Okay, well, just go to his website, and there's a way for people to email you, Glenn?
Yes, it's directly on the website, and they're more than welcome to email me. I'm often on the road, so I like to take care of the email personally as much as possible, so sometimes there's a little lag in time before I can get to everyone personally, but I definitely make that attempt.
Very good. Let's go east of the Rockies. Welcome to Coast to Coast. Hi there.
Hello, George.
Yes, it is.
This is Justin, formerly from New Orleans, now calling from Greensboro, North Carolina.
You've moved.
Yes, sir, to get closer to God and better radio reception. And wouldn't you know, I'm in a cinder block apartment, so a Justice AM antenna is in order.
Well, good to have you with us. Go ahead.
It's good to be here. I have two questions. Oh, hello, Glenn, by the way.
Hello, Justin.
I have two questions for you both. Would not have space visitors on the moon interfered with the Apollo missions for fear of discovery? And would not their purpose to be prevention of human self-destruction rather than invasion?
I would say, the first question, they were there, and as correlated by some of the astronauts as well as Maurice Chatelain, they were already there, and they were already accompanying a lot of the crafts there as a purpose of helping along should that help be required. So they were not there for any interference at all. If anything, they were telling the guys, hey, guess what? As far as the prevention of destruction, I would say that we definitely have walked that avenue several times, and I would think that over a period of time that, yes, there has been constructive reasoning and different points of perception and realism injected periodically in particular times in history. And I believe, without a doubt, as Professor Oppenheimer said after his retirement, when they asked him, we cannot take advantage of all the scientific evolvement over the last 50 years, and when they asked him, well, who helped us, he just pointed to the sky and said, those guys up there. Afterwards, he became a crackpot. So But he was in good company along with Einstein and everybody else.
Geniuses are.
Right. So prevention, I think to some degree, we have to learn to be responsible for what we do, because there is cause and effect, and what we put in motion will have returning motion as well.
Well, I cite the examples of the Russian silo incident for the second one about the prevention of self-destruction, as well as the Mars interferences we've had with our probes. Now, you're suggesting that the astronauts had prior knowledge of the existence of these visitors on the moon?
I don't say that they were priorly briefed. I believe some of them already from the X-15 project. That was reported in the newspaper that already through the X-Series project in the high atmosphere that they photographed numerous and witnessed numerous of these objects flying in formation. So to some degree, already from the time of the early 1940s, this was knowledge. Whether these particular commissioned officers were sat down and said, hey, you might come across this, I personally think that they left them to understand that and then to take care of that in the debriefing.
Oh, wonderful. I got one real quick connection. I'm reading Jules Verne's Mysterious Island, and one of the characters believes the moon is a frozen star who lost its internal fires and believes the Earth's going to happen that same way in a few million years. And I thought it was an interesting correlation y'all were talking about just a minute. But I want to say thank you, George. Thank you, everybody, coast to coast, and y'all have a great night.
Thank you.
And that is a very interesting theory. By the way, those of you who might live in the Arlington, Texas area, if you want to fast blast me, because someone is just all over fast blast right now, saying that right now that he sees a huge triangular-shaped craft. So if anybody's out there in that area, run out there, take a peek, and come back and fast blast me. There's a lot of things going on in the heavens, Glenn.
Well, yes, this evening is the meteor shower as well, and of course, over a period of years, I believe our research and development and projects have also developed our own type of crafts that are based initially on nuclear fusion, propulsion, and more into electromagnetics. And from the reports that I receive and information that I'm privy to, that these days as much as 50% of the sightings can be of earthly design.
Well, that's a pretty good percent. We'll be back with you and more. Glenn Steckling, my guest, did a little research for me. Space.com had a story a day or so ago about the moon seen as an astronomical outpost eventually, and that you could just do incredible things with devices on the moon. As a matter of fact, there was a scientist who is recommending that we put huge solar panels on the moon, and then we are able to beam via laser the energy back to receivers here on the planet, and we'd have free solar energy. The sun is always there, isn't it? Free solar energy, and just send it right back to us, and we'd put it right into the grid. That could be very amazing. Lots of things you could use the moon for, Glenn, huh?
Absolutely, and I also feel that electromagnetic energy, the dynamo of the planet itself, producing hundreds of trillions and billions of watts of energy, can be tapped into very much as Nikola Tesla and others have discovered and divulged over a period of time.
Indeed. West of the Rockies, welcome to Coast. You're on the air with us. Hi there.
Hi, George. Hi, Glenn.
Hi.
My question is, did Mr. Adamski, did your dad, or do you have any information about the grays?
Well, let's say that there is a very definitive line between what was reported up till, let's say, 1961, probably the earliest, but more so late in the late 60s, and what has continued on from that time forward. Historically, the interactions between extraterrestrial visitors has been reported to be with humanoids, where there is no fear or abductions or any type of a negative contact. Let's face it, if you're going to try to get scientific data, you don't terrify it first in order to get reliable readings. So there's this period of history that goes back thousands of years up to the early 60s that did not specifically have any of these type of reports. And since that time, these type of things have accelerated. I personally believe there's a reasons for that, but I have not had nor have never been associated, either George or my father or anyone who associates with us, that had any experiences with these type of reported